you thinking of buying a new construction home in Texas, but you're just not sure where to start? Well, this is the exact video for you because I'm breaking down my complete blueprint on how to build a new home in Texas the right way without overspending. So please make sure to watch till the end because missing just one of these steps could end up costing you thousands. Hello friends, and welcome to my channel where we talk about all things new construction here in Northeast DFW. I'm a realtor with almost a decade of experience on the builder side of things, and now I'm bringing that expertise to you. Okay, let's dig in. First things first, you gotta make the decision. Are you really ready to do this? Buying a home is a monumental decision, as I'm sure you don't need me to tell you. You're uprooting your entire life, you're hemorrhaging your bank account. So the only way you're going to get through this process is if you have strong motivation. Ask yourself why you're looking to make this step. Are you tired of working from home at your dining table and having people interrupt your Zoom calls? Do you have dreams of hosting Thanksgiving this year? Then don't settle for a home that doesn't have a dedicated office or ample entertaining space. Whatever your why power is, it's going to be the fuel that gets you through the difficult times ahead and keeps you from giving up before you reach your goal. So if your answer is yes, I'm ready to buy, let's talk about the how. Now, before you start looking in earnest for a home, it's important to find out exactly how much home you can afford. Many people skip this step and they just go straight out and look at the first pretty model home that they see online. I get it, that's the fun part. But unfortunately, it's also a strategy that tends to lead to heartbreak. The last thing you want to do is absolutely fall in love with a home only to find out when the conversation turns to finances that it is way out of reach. Start by using something like an online calculator just to give you a ballpark of the area that you're comfortable being in. Most builders are going to make you an offer you can't refuse when it comes to using their recommended lenders. So you don't necessarily need to get pre-qualified at this stage. If you want to for the peace of mind, great. Just keep in mind that whatever lender you're applying with is likely not going to be the one you end up with at the end of the day, at least if you want to take advantage of the amazing incentives that builders are offering right now. That's okay though, because you have a 45-day window to apply with as many different lenders as you want, and it'll only be recorded on your credit report as a single inquiry. By the way, if you're finding value in this video, please do me a favor by leaving a thumbs up or even a comment down below. It really helps my channel grow. Thank you so much. Let's get back to the video. So, what kind of money are you going to need to have saved up in order to purchase your new home? It's a common misconception with new construction that you have to put your down payment down up front. The down payment is actually not due until the very end of the process at closing once construction is complete. What you will have to put down up front is an earnest deposit. An earnest deposit is your skin in the game. It's the builder's protection, and it shows the builder that you're a serious buyer. If they take the house off the market for you for months, only for you to just walk away at the end of the process, they could lose thousands in carrying costs while they search for another buyer for your home. The actual amount of the deposit will vary from builder to builder. I've seen everything from $1,000 to $40,000. It really just depends on the price point. For example, for an average price of about $425,000, you can probably expect to put down $5,000 to $15,000 for your earnest deposit, just to give you an idea. The good news is, as long as you make it to the closing table, that deposit is credited back towards your total cash to close. So the money only goes away if and when you decide to cancel. If you're looking at buying a spec or inventory home, which we'll talk more about in just a second, that's likely the only upfront money that you're gonna have to pay until the end of the process. But if you're looking to build from scratch or do a to be built, TBB, as it's known in the industry, you're likely looking at also putting down an option deposit. As an example, let's say you add on $20,000 worth of upgrades at your design appointment. A lot of builders are going to charge a 50% deposit on those options because after all, they are taste specific to your preferences. If you were to cancel, and let's say you have some really funky countertops picked out, they may have to discount your home or even replace those countertops in order to make it marketable for another buyer. Like the earnest deposit, the option deposit is credited back at closing. Now that you have an idea of the budget you're working with, it's time to determine your time frame. If you're not in any particular rush, you really want to be able to pick out all your own selections, and you have a little bit extra saved for that option deposit, you're going to be looking at a TBB or to be built. Currently, the average build time in my area of Dallas-Fort Worth is about 6 to 9 months. I personally built my own home because I am picky and I wanted to be able to decide on my lot, my front elevation, my structural options, and of course all of my design finishes. By the way, if you're working with a tight budget but you still want to build, prioritize things that are going to be impossible or really difficult to change later. I'm actually going to have an entire video dedicated to this topic coming up soon, so make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss out on that. But if you're looking to move within the next 1 to 3 months, you're definitely looking at a spec or inventory home. Same thing, different names. They're homes that builders have started to build without a buyer. They pick out all the selections to appeal to a mass market, and then they sell them while they're already being built, so that people who don't want to wait a full 6 to 9 months for a build have an option to be able to move into something more quickly. There may also be homes that other buyers have started to build for themselves and canceled, so now they're back on the market. That's not necessarily a red flag in and of itself. A lot of people cancel for personal or financial reasons. Spec homes are also going to be where you find the best deals. The closer a home gets to completion, the more motivated the builder is going to be to unload that home before they have to start paying tons of carrying costs. I've seen builders offering as low as 3.99% on a temporary buy down and permanent buy downs in the mid-4 range. And if a home's been sitting there for a while, it's probably already had some purchase price slashing as well. These incentives are one of the biggest reasons that I love recommending new construction to people, especially first-time buyers who feel like they've been priced out of the current market due to high prices and high interest rates. Next, you're gonna want to decide on area. Here's a pro tip for you. If you're struggling to find homes in your budget in the area you're looking in, try looking another 15 to 20 minutes outside of that area and see how much further your money goes. In Dallas, we have an area called the Outer Rim, which consists of fast-growing suburbs about 40 to 60 minutes outside of the Dallas core. To the north, you'll find cities like Aubrey, Little Elm, Prosper, Salina, Weston, Pilot Point. To the northeast, you'll find cities like Anna, Melissa, Van Alstyne, Allen, McKinney. And in the east, there's Princeton, Wiley, Farmersville, Lavon, Forney, Royce City, Rockwall. The further out from the center you go, the more affordable the home price. I've seen the exact same floor plan being built for $100,000 to $200,000 less, depending on the area that it's built in. You might have to drive a little bit further to get to fun stuff for the first few years. But in the meantime, you're enjoying the benefits of fast-growing equity and having a home of your very own. Now, here's the thing, and it's gonna sound self-serving, so I'm warning you ahead of time because this is really important. It is at this point that you must reach out to a real estate professional, particularly one who specializes in new construction, because it is a different ballgame. If you happen to be looking in the DFW area, my contact information is below. Now, realistically, a realtor can help you with the previous steps, but the reason you need to get one at this point is because your agent is the one who's going to be helping you find what communities and builders to look at, negotiating on your behalf, and helping you navigate the entire build process. While technically you can visit model homes and even go under contract without a realtor, just remember that the builder rep is there to do just that. Represent the builder. They're not there to look out for your best interests. And even the best builder rep in the world may end up moving to a different community or even leaving the builder entirely. Having a realtor is the only way to make sure that you have somebody in your corner throughout the entire process. And picking somebody who's experienced in new construction means that you'll always have a sounding board who can tell you what to expect, what's normal, and to advocate on your behalf when needed. What may seem like a huge problem to you may be a perfectly normal occurrence in the building world, but an expert can help you figure out which problems are the real slim shady and probably have some ideas in their back pocket of how to solve them. But here's the biggest thing to remember. A lot of builders will not let you use a realtor on the contract unless they're there with you on the very first visit out. And no builders will let you add a realtor onto the contract after it's been signed. So if you're planning on using an agent, it is vital that you reach out to one before you start looking at models. Once you've found the right home in the right community with the right builder, it's time to write a contract. This is the time to apply with the builder's preferred lender, put down your earnest deposit, and sign a purchase agreement. If you're building a home from scratch, this is also the time that you're going to finalize your lot, your floor plan, front elevation, and structural options. Once the contract is signed, most builders are not going to let you make any changes on those items. Now, each builder is going to have their own purchase agreement that has been drawn up by a team of their lawyers. But one builder contract is much like another. It's always going to favor the builder, so it's a good idea to have the builder rep go over the highlights of the purchase agreement with you and your realtor so that you have an idea of what to expect before signing. So there you go. If you're thinking about buying a new home in Texas, you now have an idea of what to expect. And if you are ready to take that next step, here's my contact info. Let's have a no strings attached conversation about your home buying goals. I would love to be in your corner, but I can't help if you don't reach out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.